So I need to start this video by clarifying a few things. I'm going to be talking about a few of my stalkers, and when I say actually, it is me that is obsessed with them. It is me that is stalking them. Not to brag, I live a pretty comfortable life. I work 4 days a week, I have a decent apartment.
Hi everyone, how are you? I don't even know where the f to start.
This thing happened.
So let's give some context before we get into this. A year ago, Zena and I made a video called Lily Orchard is Toxic. Lily Orchard's behavior is toxic, and here's why. And in it, we deconstructed Lily Orchard's behavior and pointed out her specific claims against myself, pretending my partner didn't exist for some reason, to break down one of the ways that she negatively impacts YouTube, the internet, and so on. In that video, we specifically broke down some of her demonstrably false information. This included her claims that I had psychoanalyzed her, that I had claimed she had narcissism, that I claimed to know anything about her psychology whatsoever. These were all false and absolutely just professionally embarrassing, both as for her as a YouTuber and for me as a clinician, because that's just not a thing. Oh yes, and the Dr. Phil comparisons, thank you. Lily Orchard is a content creator who has always been contentious. She is up there with Onision as far as I'm concerned. She is up there with some of the other greats whose name don't come to me right now. Whatever. The problem is that for the last year, we have been getting occasional trickles of people coming into our Discord or coming onto the channel and saying mean things to us about Lily. Her fans seem to be somewhat rabid. And the reason for that is that they're very protective of her because of the way she primes her audience. If you haven't seen the priming thread on Twitter, you should do that. The priming thread is now huge, and the priming thread actually does this. So if someone can grab that off Twitter, grab the priming thread and put that in the chats, that would be great. In that, I went through after talking to Zena and broke down how content creators such as Destiny, Lily Orchard, and others will essentially work to move their audience to what looks like a progressive angle, but in reality seems to be something much more problematic. Now, we've been promising for a while a mega segment. That is, we are going to be breaking down specifically in a future video, future stream, we are going to be going through and breaking down systemically how Lily's behavior and the things that have been identified by multiple different content creators, Tumblr bloggers, and etc., all point to a way in which Lily uses progressive ideology and progressive rhetoric to spread a sort of psychological fascistic behavior. That is, if you look at her actual alleged behavior, or the behavior that is demonstrable, you can see that it leads people to a very black and white, cognitively distorted worldview where nuance goes to die. So why the fuck are we bringing her up here when we said we wouldn't do another segment on her again? Well, first off, the regular harassment from her Tumblr, not to mention constantly making up more falsehoods about myself or ignoring my partner again and again and again, just starts to get under a bitch's skin. But on top of that, I got concerned because I see this as problematic. I think people like Lily Orchard lead people to demonstrably negative positions that do not help the left, do not help us politically. But I do not have time tonight to go over that entire video. We have a lot to go over and we have a lot of stuff to talk about with that. But instead, we were handed down a gift from the heavens, like manna. We were given a video from Lily called Bitch Eating Crackers. And in this video, I have not watched it yet, she talks about internet stalking. And my understanding is that she has essentially gone through and coded all of the people who have spoken out against her as specific names. Now, after having my mods watch it, they only gave me the basic information. Our mods have basically said that apparently either A, I am, or we are Carol.
Yes.
So we're now the leftist troop Carol.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to be referred to as Carol.
Yes.
Apparently she makes a claim in here about someone being a deadbeat parent. I heard this from somebody. And the person she says it about, according to her Tumblr, and I can show you the screenshot if you want, but in it she says that she was talking about Carol, which is supposedly me, or us, or both. I don't know.
We still got to work on our fusion dance. We're still working on it.
So our dear nom-noms, what we are going to do is watch this video and break it down for you, because from what I understand from my mod, or from our mods, is that this is literally citation needed, an essay. So I guess let's get fucking started. Do you have anything you want to add to this before we start? I don't want you to feel like you're silent.
No, I think you covered most of it so far.
Stop forgetting you?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to start sending out business letters?
No, that's about where I'm at. People are going to start getting, very angry, like, formal letters from me.
Yeah, the only people that stalk her are Kiwi Farms, and we're not on what? Anyway, let's go! Oh, God. Hey, our opening.
I know, right? What do you say? Recognize that came from somewhere.
So I need to start this video by clarifying a few things. I'm going to be talking about a few of my stalkers. And when I say that, I need to establish a firm disconnect between stalker and everyone else who has ever had a bad take about me. Between Twitter and Tumblr, there's the occasional weirdo who will have a dumb opinion about me or my work, or a YouTuber who makes one video about me and then fucks off forever. And I'm not going to be discussing them in this video. Nor am I going to be discussing people who have had legitimate reasons to be and remain angry with me in the past. There have been instances in the past where I've been involved in some horrible takes or said something racist without knowing it was, and anyone who is still upset with me over that is completely within their right to be so. I'm not owed forgiveness by anyone, and they probably don't think about me until my name crosses their feed anyway. No, I'm talking about a few very specific people today. With that out of the way, let's go. So for 12 years, I've been subjected to a great deal of stalking. The names have changed over time, but there have always been a few people hounding me quite aggressively and obsessively. Between Templar Gamer and Doritos Pope a decade ago to the current crop of parasocial losers, stalking has been the background radiation of my life. We're talking about the recent group of them today, who, for the sake of not drawing attention to them, we will call Karen, Carol, Katie, Ellie, Skylar, and Val. I apologize if any of these are your actual names, dear viewer. These 6 people have either previously or currently been involved in a harassment campaign that is simultaneously abusive, ableist, transphobic, misogynistic, racist, and libelous. In fact, the only thing protecting them from a defamation suit is that you have to do actual damage to someone's life to be sued, and stress is not considered grounds for a lawsuit. The thing is, with every stalker, there is usually an inciting incident, something that tweaked them that made them want to start hounding me aggressively. For Karen, it was the fact that I ended a friendship with her because of her being an aggressive fair-weather friend, and in retaliation, she has spent 8 years accusing me of everything from secretly being another person entirely, faking being trans to get in her pants, despite the fact that our friendship ended.
So if I remember correctly, this person is Britt. Britt is in chat. Britt has a Tumblr where she goes over the stuff that allegedly Lily has done. I will not go into that stuff because I am a lady. But my understanding is it includes a lot of really rough stuff, including coercing a lesbian, and the list gets worse from there. So if you want to see that, Britt, go ahead and put your link in chat. Britt also does have receipts and stuff. We will probably briefly touch on that stuff more when we go over the actual mega segment, but for now, just understand that this is who this is referring to. I'll also make sure I get your link, Britt, for the links document. So remember to message me that.
Did shortly after I came out to her, and I had already been in her pants years prior, and inventing quote-unquote embarrassing stories.
Okay, been in her pants, ew. Don't talk about people that way. Anyway.
to share with the older stalkers like FNGR and Vita. Carol is actually a right-wing grifter who has been trying to content farm me to distract from the fact that she defended Vosh's violent and racist harassment of 2 black women and took part in the harassment herself, and has gone as far as to pretend to have a medical degree to justify psychoanalyzing me without ever having met me so that she can claim I'm bipolar, have narcissistic personality disorder, and borderline personality disorder.
Whoa!
Wait.
Wow, we gotta talk about the claims here, folks. Ooh, okay, so starting from the front, 1, occupation, white supremacist. No one pays me from white supremacy, so please, where are those checks? Also, I don't have a medical degree. I have a license in counseling. I have a license degree in counseling. That's not a medical degree.
Medical degrees
I have
are
a
not...
master's. What
medical degrees are not the same as...
Wait, so what? So is I've been farming you for content? I've literally made 2 videos about you. Do you count? What, have we done extra videos? Did you do videos when I wasn't looking?
No, no videos for me. No.
Okay, wait, hold on. I gotta back this up. Wait.
I like that inciting incident though was blocked on the Bird app. Like that was.
Hold on, I gotta hear these again because we gotta pause it piece by piece.
GR and Vita. Carol is actually a right-wing grifter who has been trying to content farm me to distract from the fact that she defended Vosh's violent and racist harassment of 2 black women.
Okay, so let's go over that. So, yeah, we totally defended Vosh in both of these cases.
Yep, absolutely.
In the case of Professor Flowers demonstrably was basically a genocide enthusiast. I'm sorry, I find her rhetoric really disturbing and bothersome. I know previously I've tried to be more balanced about her, but as time has gone on, nothing has been favorable towards her. PF is by definition a person who has talked about doing basically said that marginalized people have the right to do everything up to and including just wiping groups off the map, including, ethnic cleansing, cultural genocide, things like that. I watched that entire debate. I've watched it twice because I wanted to make sure I didn't get it. I have no love towards Professor Flowers. None. No. And Vosh never brought any harassment towards her. There is still yet to be any proof of this. If you talk to White Nervosa, you talk to Tempest, all of these harassments you guys claim that Vosh's community does, no one has ever brought forth receipts. There are people giving you comments and critiques, but there has not been actually any real harm. You need to actually demonstrate that. If these people are so bad, where are the screenshots? Wouldn't there be screenshots from members of his community if you were being dogpiled in DMs and things like that?
Right.
Yeah, this literally goes to the non-compete stuff too. As far as, do you want to talk about Professor Flowers at all, or do you want me to go on to Cat Black?
I was just saying we're both of the same mind on that one.
Oh yeah, no, we were both listening to that and horrified by it. Cat Black, I've not been a particular fan of. I like her work. I didn't like True Tea. I thought it was boring as shit. And let me be super clear. Beautiful woman, very intelligent on kink. She broke consent and engaged in online abuse towards Vosh by bringing up specifically that she had sexted with him and spoke negatively about his dick. Like, if the roles were reversed and he was talking about a trans woman's genitalia, the internet would have lost their collective minds. But because she has more intersection points, all of a sudden, somehow she wins the math. I don't know. This again, the idea that I'm a right-wing grifter, I make most of my money through my job. You guys only end up paying us probably upwards of like $200 to $300 a month, maybe. Who am I grifting?
Women and took part in the harassment herself and has gone as far as to pretend to have a medical degree to justify psychoanalyzing me without ever having met me so that she can claim I'm bipolar.
Never psychoanalyzed her. Citation needed. Do you remember any time that I ever tried to espouse any idea of what the hell's going on inside Lily's head?
Oh, absolutely not. Let me tell you how many times a week we go, not your therapist.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is in 2 minutes in and she's already just making things up. I actually invite everyone to go watch all 2.5 videos of her. The original one where I gave her very light slap on the hand critique. the one where we talk about Levy and Levy's freaking out about the Essence of Thought video, and the one where we went over specifically her bullshit claims that were bullshit then. I still maintain, though this has been told to me now that this is different, that, if her fans knew where I lived and could actually find my real name, I could actually deal with very real problems. Would they get my license taken away? Probably not. Does that mean that, it could still cause me headache and I have to go in to see licensure and things like that? Absolutely. Because none of these people are my fucking clients. So they really can't say shit. The only people that can really talk shit about me and say that I've done anything negative would be that, unless you can prove that I broke our code of ethics. And I actually went over stream with that and pointed out that I never did. Right?
Yeah. No, all this happened.
Now, specifically on the claims, I can't say whether she has any of these disorders or not. I don't believe she's ever confirmed that, she's ever confirmed her specific diagnosis, say for one Tumblr post, and I don't know if I can even believe that. I know she identifies, I believe, as autistic, but that's me parroting her. So I don't know.
It's also not how diagnosing works. You don't actually get a diagnosis from randos on the internet. That's not functionally how that system works.
Well, even if it was, let's say, medical or my counseling license, which is the real one, the reality is that for me to diagnose you, you have to actually sign paperwork that says you're willing to work with me through outpatient. Lily's never done that. Even if I espouse the idea that Lily has this, that, or the other thing, that's not diagnoses. Diagnoses is just the code that I send into insurance. So what are we doing here? Anyway.
Polar, have narcissistic personality disorder, and borderline personality disorder
Citation
from a place
needed.
of presumed authority for money and clout, despite not understanding how any of those
Is often used as an armchair diagnosis when someone wants to call someone a bitch but doesn't know. No, you're a bitch. I've never said you had NPD. I said you're a bitch. And I agree with this. It's a very complicated personality disorder that's previously been very misunderstood. Agreed. Now, I don't get it. But again, this idea of scapegoating and drama queens, I've literally never called anyone this except for one client I had. That was it. And I don't even think that client was necessarily... That client was diagnosable. So I don't know what you're talking about. So pretending to have a medical degree. So one of these days, I kind of want to just take my my master's and just put it on screen. But I can't because it would have my real name on it. So I'm constantly in this perpetual loop of not being able to do shit. Because she just can keep making up lies. That's the joke.
Well, and I'm not sure that anybody would even change their thinking, even if you did put that on screen.
I literally have licensure in the state of Michigan. I hate it. I'm respected in my fucking field. People come to me and ask questions about how to deal with trans mental health. What are we doing?
The internet doesn't like expertise. Some people are very allergic to it.
That's true. She got a hold of my license number. That could be very bad.
those conditions actually work. And I am not the only trans person she has tried to content farm. Katie was actually a fan of my work until I said her boyfriend was wrong about the horse show, whereupon she proceeded to dead name and misgender me for years, claiming I didn't deserve to have my womanhood respected and passed around fake stories of me secretly being a pedophile in retaliation for me going after the brony fandom for its tolerance of pedophiles. Ellie, oh fuck, I just realized there's no keeping this one's identity secret. Anyway, Ellie.
So real quick, before we get to Ellie, who is Katie? Do we know who Katie was? Does anyone know? Oh, is Katie you, Sega Sister? Yeah, no, her mixing is awful. The music is way too loud in the background. Yeah, of course, the one she made red. Like, yup.
Got it.
Yep.
Wow. All right. This is...
Moving on. Lizzie, hold on to your butt.
Tolerance of pedophiles. Ellie, oh fuck, I just realized there's no keeping this one's identity secret. Anyway, Ellie is my abusive ex, who has jumped at the chance for attention and clout to claim I was the abuser in our relationship as retaliation for talking about the way she abused me.
You organized a hate campaign and got her forced off Tumblr. If there is one thing I could do, Like, if there's one thing I could do, it would honestly be reach through the screen and slap the living silly shit out of you. Lizzie's my fucking friend, and I swear to God, every time I hear you talk about her, I want to scream. I know what trauma looks like. It doesn't look like you. It looks like what Lizzie's actually been through. I'm not going to share any of that because it was given in confidence. But for fuck's sakes, the way you talk about her is exactly the type of alienation bullshit that abusive exes do. I just cannot. It's insane. Have you ever heard any of our friends ever talk about their ex in this way?
No.
Like, that's insane.
Taking instances where I express frustration or annoyance with her flakiness to claim that I was the real abuser. The technical term for this is
I also think that she might have ADHD, but that's not a diagnosis. That's just me presupposing. Reactive abuse. I wonder if she's gonna bring up the thing. If she brings up the thing, I'm gonna talk shit about it for 5 minutes.
reactive abuse, where your abuser provokes a reaction from you to then claim you are the real abuser, kind of like what Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp. Skylar is another form of
topical. The problem with reactive abuse, though, and Zena and I have had this conversation. Do you remember when we talked about reactive abuse and the way that the problem is it's similar to the gaslighting claim? That when someone makes it, the problem is the person doing the gaslighting or the person who's doing the reactive abuse could also be the person who's making the claim that it's reactive abuse. Like, you would need a third party to make that claim. So, because Lily's involved, there's no possible way that she could in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, be an objective party to actually suss that out.
Yeah, like, reactive abuse is a thing, but you have to observe it as a clinician. You have to have someone to do it as a friend. Like this is insanity. Skylar. Oh, Skylar is Patch? Is that what we're understanding? Hold on, I gotta give Patchy Doodles the VIP. All right, Patchy, you're good.
a friend who I
Also, yes, Witchy, based on everything I know, Lizzie, that is demonstrably what was going on. You and I have talked about this excessively. Again, I'm not going to go into details. I love you, but please, this is literally what me and Zena were just talking about. It's the use of reactive abuse as a claim to shut down the victim.
Mm-hmm.
I got mad at your flakiness. Like, flakiness is abuse. Are you fucking kidding me?
kicked out of the group for being aggressively combative and starting fights with people, only to then turn around and trauma dump on the rest of us, and it became clear that it was a toxic cycle and needed to stop, and they wouldn't stop on their own. They would later go on to gloat when my last relationship fell apart, pretend to be sympathetic toward me in public while talking aggressive shit about me in private, to the point that I don't know for certain, but I have a hunch they were celebrating when news got out that I had been raped in 2018, and also harass LGBTA children on Twitter for clout and validation. And
Whoa. So, again, citation needed. When did Patches ever harass people online? Patch has some bad takes, but ones that I disagree with, but the whole video is citation needed. I'm not trying to farm a joke. I just don't know what else you do here.
Right.
Also, if all of these people have been negatively impacted by you and all treated you shitty, I mean, at some point, when do you recognize the common denominator? When you confronted a minor for posting non-safe for work? You should do that. I mean, probably skillfully, but yeah, probably.
Also, I thought Beyond Safe Word's comment was interesting, too.
Let me see what Beyond Safe Words did.
About reactive abuse.
There's a lot of literature challenging that particular abuse typology. Same with the mutual intimate partner violence, because there are so many weaponized against LGBTQ folks. True. That makes perfect sense. I love that. Also, I would like people to stop using the term groomer. Or at very least use alleged. I want to be abundantly clear. These are allegations. Unless you can show me that this has actually been dealt with in a court of law, we are talking about allegations. Our chat will behave in a nuanced way, thank you. Yeah, the whole video's evidence is just believe me. Yeah, it's legit.
Well, there's not even anything yet. There's no screenshots, no nothing.
Val was the same as Skylar, but with added biphobia that made me very uncomfortable considering that I'm bi myself, who then turned around and made a gossip vlog almost immediately after the friendship ended and went full psycho ex-girlfriend even though we'd never dated. And in the cases of other stalkers who weren't prominent enough to mention, the inciting incident is usually the Steven Universe video, the videos talking shit about Cachador and Raylo, the videos talking positively about Family Guy and the Big Bang Theory, or an old shitpost thread where I gave comically bad writing advice like all sex scenes need a harmonica solo and if at first you don't succeed, give up and do something else. Or they're still seething about the 2 big April Fool's videos despite clearly not having watched them. That's actually my favorite. Like, got him. I know the initial thought is that, Lily, that's a lot of former friends, especially given your fallout with Josh. And 5 former friends coming out to say that you're a bitch would ordinarily be a damning statement, but it loses its power as a statement when you remember that this is 4 friends and 1 ex over 8 years. And they always keep the year and the time out of their call-out posts. This casually ignores the 10 friends I have remaining, some of whom have been around just as long, and 2 of which are exes I'm on.
Did you just do the bandwagon fallacy? Because I'm popular?
Are we just counting like the number of friends she has on screen?
Wait, that's not how claims work.
What?
People's claims don't lose power because of time, and people's claims don't lose power because you have more friends. You're not Galinda from fucking Wicked. Instead of be who you'll be, instead of dreary who you are, we're nothing to stop you from being popular. Sorry. I will go into Wicked, I swear to fucking Christ, people. That's not how claims work. Also, don't most of you have dates? Like, the screenshots I've seen have dates. Brits do? What are we doing? Okay, let's go on.
On mostly good terms with, and my wife, who I've been with for 3 years without a single damn problem. And this is always countered by stalkers with insistence that I'm actually a terrible friend, and the rest are going any day now, or accusations that my friend group is actually a cult, because naturally cult.
But by your own logic, that could be true. Because, like, guys, like, by her logic, 5 people claiming that she's been abusive and harmful is ignorable because they're all bad, and because she has more friends. But if normally having 10 friends would mean you're right, then isn't it possible that those 10 friends are also abuse magnets? Like, none of these claims work. This is not how argumentation works. Yes, Sega, but there's reasons for that. There's very never mind. But fuck me.
Cults are things that happen online where none of the members are socially isolated from other people, which is the only way cults can actually work, you dumb fuck. They always have an answer for the reality that the majority of my relationships actually go pretty well, and that answer is usually, oh, I bet that's fake. Every one of my friends secretly hates me, my wife is battered and afraid to leave, and everyone who speaks positively about me is my alt account.
No,
I must be a superhuman to run 130,000
relationships.
alt accounts. Fucking get on my level, Flash. Now, here's the thing.
Beyond all
I'm not here to
jokes.
address every single claim they have ever made. There are too many, and they often contradict each other. Like, I'm simultaneously an anti-sex Puritan, but also an aggressive pervert who definitely has secret accounts on porn sites that they can't actually link to me. I'm simultaneously such a rancid human being that nobody would ever genuinely like me, yet have also managed to snare 11 victims who are convinced otherwise, despite my villainy being so obvious. It's an extension of the I love Kim Possible a lot paradox. KP supposedly abuses her staff and treats them like slave labor to such a cartoonish degree that everyone just knows it, yet she still has a staff and still finds new people working for her despite not paying anyone and therefore having nothing to tether them to a shitty job like Amazon would. The thing is, many of these stalkers always get very angry when I don't take their outlandish
I don't even know.
She's talking about I Like Kim Possible a lot. I Like Kim Possible a lot is a YouTuber who is who does Kim Possible and pony content, if memory fucking serves. She seems kind of like a ditz, if I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Also, you can be both simultaneously. What was it?
Daniger, I don't know which image you're talking about. You'll have to
say that you're like sexual Puritan and then also like be doing degenerate things in the background. This happens.
Well, yeah, like the idea of, again, like persona versus reality. Like, Lily could easily be a person who talks about mental health and protecting children and all that stuff and still engage in these things. Again, look at Brit's like vlog. Like, there are questions in the air about some of the behavior she's engaged in. and a really questionable E621 account. But yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, wait, couldn't Ellen DeGeneres make the same popular argument? Yeah, that's true. Is it the one you sent me in messages, Thanagor? I need a clarification. Let me know.
Accusations seriously. When someone has a freak out over the fact that I ran a writing contest where the goal was to write a gay proposal in a fantasy village, and the prompt itself naturally excluded non-romantic pairings and tried to claim I was aerophobic because of that, you can't really take that seriously. And in fact, most people don't take it seriously. They've been doing this shit for 12 years. It has never made an actual negative impact on my career. Even Josh trying to slander me with a larger platform.
You can't see the screen? Sorry about that. I was trying to grab that picture. Give me 1 second. I like how every single time it's always the same picture of Josh crying in a bathtub.
So much drama that I know nothing about.
I know more than I should.
I don't got a stomach for this much internet drama. I don't.
Is this the one you were talking about, Than? What does that say? How important would you say it is for people to do their own research or question evidence when it is presented either without context as a damnation of someone? Should everything regarding of who is presenting it be triple checked and validated before an opinion is formed? Yes. Or is it better to stick with the belief of the people providing the evidence have more experience or know better, and just take the evidence and form an opinion off what is or what's shown? Depends. Wait, what? What? Wait. That's not how evidence. Why are you anti-reality?
It's not how that works.
All right, go back to this. Let's do this.
Platform than me resulted in a 2,000 subscriber loss, which at the time equated to 5% of my total audience, and there has never been a dent like that made since. So it's clear why they want me so badly to take it seriously, because taking their outlandish accusations and addressing them seriously gives them validation they don't otherwise have. I frequently get anons who insist that if I just lied and confessed to everything they accuse me of, people would let it go and they would go away. But the thing is, I tried that once. Someone came in with an accusation about some shit from 2013, and I corrected the real story because the accusation only had a tiny shred of truth to it, referring to the Fire Rose ship that plagued the Brony analysis community for a while, and which I kind of smiled and nodded along to, and on reflection shouldn't have. But then again, I've talked about how harassment was held over my head as an implicit threat in that community, and it's been demonstrated that the analysis community uses harassment to silence people who speak out against them. And let's establish this right away. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have smiled and nodded and went along with the joke. I should have said something and taken the risk of harassment and abuse. It was wrong of me not to say anything, and I am sorry for that. But none of that mattered. I was instead accused of adding years to push it back further, and even addressing it was taken as an admission of guilt, not of the real wrongdoing, but of the fake wrongdoing, which was then passed around as further justification for even more harassment, because that was the goal. In the absence of real proof, bully the target into a false confession to then use to condemn them. The police do this with people all the fucking time when they want to prosecute but don't actually have proof. Give us what we want and we'll leave you alone is a fucking abuser tactic. The problem with taking them at their word when they say that is that they don't want it to end. If they wanted it to end, they would have given up and gotten lives of their own and touched some.
Okay, bitch, listen here. My partner hates covering you. You ignore the shit out of my partner. It is fucking bothersome. You have conflated our channel name with me, and I get how. Every dumb person does it. But here's the problem. I let it go. We did the one video, and then I never brought you up again for 6 months. And you still consistently talked shit about me again and again and again. I have screenshot after screenshot after screenshot claiming I am all sorts of things. I'm a fascist. I'm a white supremacist. I'm not a real clinician. And the underlying transandrophobia of literally ignoring the existence of my trans mask partner because you have such a hate boner for other trans women. You'll go after Contra, but you never seem to have a trans man's name in your fucking mouth. Are you mad because we're prettier? Is that what it is? Are you mad because it's internalized transphobia? I literally let it go. Ask my mods. We eventually shut down the Lily Orchard former fan support group on the fucking Discord because people got toxic and we were done with it. We wanted to be done with it. ask Thanagor, ask Patricia, ask any of our mods from that time period. And none of this is diagnosis.
Fucking grass already. It's just that as the years have gone on, even people who don't like me have started to remark on just how obsessive some of these people are. Even as time goes on, it becomes harder and harder to justify it to themselves, so they need some kind of validation to keep it going and get people on their side again. As the years have gone on, things have gotten more and more desperate. They failed to convince people that I was secretly running a child sex trafficking ring out of my basement years ago, and so now they've devolved into screenshotting every single dumb opinion I've ever had and picking it apart, looking for more ways to psychoanalyze me. This is parasocial hatred, where you begin viewing the target under an always negative light, where everything they do must be framed through the most uncharitable lens possible. It's a term known as bitch-eating crackers, where you have such strong negative feelings towards someone that everything they do suddenly irritates and upsets you, even if that thing is just them eating crackers. These people's hatred of me has consumed them completely and utterly, and so no attempt to dissuade them is going to work. They want to stalk me. They want to harass.
How are we stalking you? Wait.
No, but go back to like her definition of like parasocial. Like that's not what parasocial means. That's not the same word.
Single dumb opinion I've ever had and picking it apart, looking for more ways to psychoanalyze me. This is parasocial hatred, where you begin viewing—
Wait, most of these people are her friends. The only person that has a demonstrable parasocial relationship with her is me. I've never been friends with this bitch. You guys know that, right? Like, a bunch of the people in chat have been either friends or partners of her. And apparently she does weird claiming shit about who she's fucked. Not a fan.
Yeah. But parasocial hatred, like, that's not even... This isn't what parasocial means.
Yeah. They don't have a parasocial relationship with you. They have a very real reason why they hate you. I have a one-sided relationship with you. I can say mine's parasocial. But I stopped engaging with you. What? Like, what? No. See, I didn't farm for your fucking takes. I got sick of your takes. Tia got sick of your takes. Everyone got sick of your takes.
Oh, I got sick of it real fast because they don't stop.
They don't stop, and they're always dumb. You're a dumb lib who constantly makes bad fucking takes. Where's the one about you wanting to say just move out of red states and let the things rot, forgetting all the people there and how many black people are in the South? But again, you claim you're not racist, but you do some weird ass shit. Let's go.
The target under an always negative light, where everything they do must be framed through the most uncharitable lens possible. It's a term known as bitch-eating crackers, where you have such strong negative feelings towards someone that everything they do suddenly irritates and upsets you.
No, I actually still like Steven Universe's garbage, and here's why. This isn't a bitch-eating crackers thing, and I didn't even know that term before this. I literally thought bitch-eating crackers was a reference to you going after people who were white. Because I didn't realize Sega was in this until I saw her post. What are we doing? Like, but bitch. Yeah, Lizzie, take care of you. I'll talk to you in the server. Thanagor 2, love you guys.
Even if that thing is just them eating crackers. These people's hatred of me has consumed them completely and utterly, and so no attempt to dissuade them is going to work. They want to stalk me. They want to harass me. They want to find out where I live so they can come to my house to try and intimidate me. They've done—
I've never— What?
Wait,
I've literally told people not to harass you. This idea—
I feel like we're mixing a lot of things together right now. Just
someone critiques me on the internet, which is equal to wanting to come to my house and intimidate me. Are you fucking kidding me? I want her deplatformed. I want her off the internet because I think she does harm to the left, and I actually have very real concerns about her behavior. But I don't want physical harm to come to her. In fact, I've called her out for saying that physical harm should come to fucking ContraPoints. Hell, let's talk about, like, how all these people want to harm me. You guys see this? This got posted earlier. Now, you may not be a fan of Vosh. I know I am. But guess what? Someone really needs to... Lily Orchard's Tumblr. 20 hours ago. According to Sundrop, she deleted it.
Yeah, this is bad.
Let's be super clear. This is not the behavior of a person who is well-adjusted. I am not going to presuppose what her diagnoses or try to psychoanalyze her. I'm just saying bitch is a bitch. I mean, fuck, didn't she get banned off Twitter the last time because she harassed a Blizzard employee? One that was making a trans character? Like, this is, by definition, this is just stochastic terrorism. This is what happens when you basically try to use online abuse to point your audience at somebody and cause harm. And to me, this is like one step up from fucking Sargon of Akkad saying we need to cleanse the nation. Because at least that's some level of very light, on the skin fucking, what is it? Euphemism. No, she just thinks someone should fucking roadblocks fucking Vosh.
Yeah, no, this is gross and bad.
She's like the female version of Bad Apanada. True!
All right,
done this
let's get
before.
through this.
This is why all their logic and rationalizations are so shit. Because they don't need to be
You don't
good.
actually watch our
They're
videos
not trying to win an argument. They're trying to keep the argument going. And they need to keep finding new ways to convince themselves that it's worth it to continue
Why are we zooming in on Lizzie? Are you still broken up about this? Dude, leave Lizzie alone. She's not coming back. We would fucking stop her first.
this kind of obsessive harassment. One of the people I mentioned above has been at this for 8 years. Let's circle to another element of the problem, and for those who need it, content warning: stalking, psychological terrorism, sexual abuse, elder abuse, transphobia, and ableism. You probably heard of Christine Chandler, also known as Chris Chan by the internet. She's considered to be the single cringiest person on the planet by people who don't know how cringeworthy billionaires can be. Her nickname has been ubiquitous on the internet for 15 years, and almost everyone knows who she is, even if they don't know why they know that. Here's a short biography of Chris Chan. In 2006, she wrote a bad crossover comic featuring a hybrid of Sonic and Pikachu.
One company out in Boston that basically cuts it in big blocks.
And in 2021, she was arrested for sexually abusing her elderly mother.
That went south so fast! Oh!
That's pretty intense. I'm sorry about dropping that in your lap, but once you've recovered from falling out of your chair, you might be noticing something. And that is, wait, there's only 2 things there. And the only actually bad one is from last year. So why have we all known who this person is for over a decade? You see, Chandler was stalked by the internet after bothering 4chan with her webcomic, and this went beyond normal internet stalking. Several entire websites were dedicated to stalking Chandler for years, and hundreds of people have spent so much of their time, energy, and life documenting every single random thing she posted or did between 2006 and 2022. Chandler is what the internet calls a lolcow, someone who can be milked for laughs and content farmed forever. These people are usually neurodivergent in some way, and in recent years, trans people have been the target of stalking, and even people who are neither, just for shits and giggles. And it's not like every case is the same. Most people that lolcow forums stalk don't eventually vindicate their...
Lily, I know you really like Movie Bob, but stop it. Stop it.
Stalkers by doing something horrible. Chandler's abuse of her mother was a surprise to everyone, even to the people who had documented the fact that years of stalking and abuse had deteriorated Chandler's mental health. Most people targeted by these forums are just random autistic, ADHD, or trans people, or just YouTubers that you can pretend are cringeworthy if you squint really hard and are also a biased loser. Everyone is milked for content. But there's a limit to how long you can do this and maintain an air of dispassionate amusement. There comes a point where it becomes an obsession, and the real undercurrent of people who frequent lolcow forums is that they're losers. They're pathetic, sad, hopeless losers who have such little going on in their lives that they don't just enjoy finding cringe people online to laugh at, they need them. They need to have people they see as beneath them in order to feel better about their own lives, and they will often eat people in their own communities alive the moment one of them starts to break the illusion by being a desperate stalker themselves. You only knew who Chris Chan was before 2021 because of the obsessions of some very sad people, and this goes for the likes of any high-profile victim of cyberstalk, and the vast majority of them don't have actual crimes to use as flimsy justifications. The creator of Beastness, a Super Nintendo emulator, committed suicide after being stalked by lolcow forums for years. Nier didn't do anything other than be a non-binary person existing in someone's vicinity, and for that, they were stalked incessantly and had already terrible harassment made orders of magnitude worse. These are very sad, pathetic creatures who are so desperate for validation of their own lives, they spend all of this time and energy trying to get people to...
But wait. But that situation was, they were being hounded by kiwi farms. I'm not saying you haven't been either. I know you have for a fact, but the fact is this is what's called a false equivocation. You're trying to equivocate Kiwi Farms' behavior with our behavior. That is your ex calling you out for being abusive, your ex-friend saying you're abusive, and me pointing out the fact that you lied about me and ignore my partner. Like, we just went on that tangent to come back to the idea that these people are somehow equal, that Kiwi Farms is equal to the stuff that I do. You can't even remember my partner.
Also, we need paragraph breaks.
This is the whole fast talking thing, except Joe Cat does it better.
Even if you're fast talking, though, Joe Cat, like, other people still have paragraph breaks. Like, this is really hard to follow. If you want to give us an argument, you at least...
Does everyone notice that all of her targets are women? Or women adjacent? Or non-binary, but possibly AFAB? Am I wrong on that? Are they all AFAB? Are they all... No, they're not. I'm not AFAB, so that wouldn't fit. Wait, so aren't they all women adjacent? I feel like there's some sexism here. Yeah, you're intersex, Patchy, so that doesn't work. I feel like there's some undercurrent, like intersex phobia and transphobia leading to, like, based on a sexism. I feel like we're doing a sexism. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, some kind. But yeah, no, what T-Met said with the fast talking is the tactic here, right? That's the point, is to not be able to keep track of everything.
Yeah, apologies, Patch, for... Yeah, apologies, Patch. I apologize. I wasn't sure of your full identity because we've only interacted briefly. I wasn't ignoring it. I just didn't know it. All right, let's get back to it.
To commit suicide. That is their goal. These are my stalkers. Karen, Carol, Katie, Ellie, Skylar, and Val spend hours of their day keyword searching to pick fights with people and aggressively pick apart everything I do and say.
How do you...
goal?
Citation?
What's the point? Friends, fans, and assorted fuck buddies. This is cope. It would be an understatement to say that most of them aren't doing very well. Outside of my ex, who is just in this to be vindictive, most of them don't have very good lives. They are pathetic, sad monuments of failure, and their only recourse is to delve deeper and deeper into...
I'm just gonna say it real quick. Anyone that knows Lizzie, girl does not have a fucking vindictive bone in her body. What are we doing? Oh my God. God, I just want to snuggle Lizzie and protect her from this. Oh my God. Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
This is so bad.
This is cope. No, you're right, Allium. This is cope.
To a parasocial hatred, to convince themselves that a public figure they are obsessed with is worse than them, so they don't have to feel worse about themselves. Except Carol, who is just a fascist grifter who harasses black women for money. I'm gonna keep...
Wait! Citation needed. Where? Show me where. Are you talking about the videos? We never published the Professor Flowers video because I didn't like the way the segment went, and I fully stand by the takes we had about Vosh and Cat Black.
Oh, absolutely.
And we absolutely
we put a lot into that.
And we absolutely called out Vosh during that and his behavior. But we also called out the fact that outing someone having been with them in that way, like you did to like fucking Brit, is gross. You did that here.
Yup.
You literally did the same thing.
Maybe you should watch our video sometime.
Then she'd learn things, like how arguments work. I know, Britt, and I'm sorry that happened. I love you. Sending a lesbian snuggle to another lesbian.
Lots of love.
Yeah, lesbian snuggles.
Saying that because it should be said. And one thing they keep trying to do is insist that actually it is me that is obsessed with them. It is me that is stalking them. Remember what we said about reactive abuse?
You actively have searched out our Twitter. I know, because you were directly reacting to it, either through, from what I can understand to be either members of Kiwi Farms, sock puppets, or your actual fans, I can never tell, informing you about it, and you reacting without ever actually, like, engaging with the content, just saying nonsense. Again, you're misusing reactive abuse, and we already have someone who's a PhD student already called out the fact that this is actually questionable typology.
No you is the only string to their bow. But not to brag, I live a pretty comfortable life. I work 4 days a week. I have a decent apartment that isn't overpriced. I have a beautiful wife who I adore and who adores me in turn to the point that she cried when I brought her a birthday cake, the big sap. I live in a real country and not whatever America's supposed to be, and my job doesn't ask much of me outside of constantly coming up with new opinions to share and dealing with YouTube's bullshit. And these are people who spend so much of their day desperately trying to convince others and themselves that I'm actually a terrible person who should have her good life taken away from her for reasons. Am I supposed to believe they're happier than me? I don't have a thesis statement here, and I don't even know if I'm using that term properly. I just wanted to talk about the stalking and harassment I've endured in a very frank way, in a very honest way, free of the gaslighting and harassment itself, and getting down to the meat of why I'm being harassed. People say I'm a bad YouTuber. There are plenty of bad YouTubers. People say I'm a bad writer. There are plenty of bad writers. People say I'm a bad person, but there are plenty of bad people. For the most part.
So you agree that you're a bad person? Wait, what? Wait, there's plenty of bad people. Again, these are bandwagon fallacies. Again,
none of this helps you.
Yeah, none of this is helpful. Wait, plenty of people are. Wait,
where are we going?
I'm gonna just say I hate the new puppet. It looks like Kirkland's brand Zena warrior princess.
It's not even Kirkland is good.
Oh no, what is the dollar store brand?
The no brand. It's when there's no branding on it whatsoever.
I'm not trying to talk shit about people's art, but like I can't. I mean, like, guys, like the other one looked like Disney. Like Lizzie's art looks like Disney. But that's true. Lizzie's art isn't being used anymore. So
when you don't like a writer or you
at what metric is Lindsay Ellis a bad YouTuber? Because she hates her because she hates other women. Or people that she generally hates women and anyone that she just feels like disliking. Usually trans people, not always.
YouTuber, you just kind of stop consuming their work. That's the healthy thing to do. It's why I never did a second Natalie Wynn video after she had that shit-flinging tantrum. Because I don't want to watch her videos anymore.
Yeah. Shit-flinging tantrum. A 2-hour video with good arguments that you probably either didn't understand or just didn't watch.
Woman's a conservative true scum. Why would I bother? But this
conservative true scum. You mean she's a lib?
Wait.
Leaning leftist and like she actively has non-binary people in her life? What are you?
What those words mean.
She actively convinced Shoe on Head that non-binary people were valid? What are you? Again, you just throw out words. I don't know if you actually know what they mean.
Kind of obsessive stalking never comes from a place of good faith. It's never about anything real I've done.
We gave you
because
good
at the end
faith,
of the day,
and you fucking
the
spit on it.
intersectional socialist Sith Lord OC who lectured Leia about being prejudiced and the science accident encrypted baby who was made in a microwave just isn't worth getting worked up over for a normal person. Old videos about Family Guy and the Big Bang Theory and Steven Universe just aren't worth being this upset and worked over for this long. If you've ever spent an extended period of time hounding a creator instead of just outgrowing them and moving on with your life, touch some fucking grass.
So
that was a weird switch over at the end.
I thought she was against supposed ableism. Isn't touch grass supposed to be ableist? I don't think it is, but I'm just saying, like, she tries to fucking weaponize every other progressive meme.
Well, like, she just went to the end and went, oh, it's about being, angry about videos for too long. What?
It's really not. I'll fight everybody in chat.
Like that's not what you just spent a whole video arguing. If you really meant that as like your last statement, your whole video should have been pointing to that statement.
She doesn't know how thesis statements works.
Nope.
Yeah, I gotta say this. This is not a Morbin time moment. This is not the poggers, as the kids would say.
Nope.
No, because comedy's funny. There was one joke in there that made me laugh. And another one I had to wait for because her timing was awful. Let me be super clear. It is interesting to me that a lot of the friends that Lily has lost have acted in this way. And I'm not saying I don't have people that dislike me too. That happens. But this out there, claiming your ex is so vindictive that she spoke up for herself and defended herself and is mad because you've literally taken her own intellectual property and misused it. A lot of these people that you went after are in our community in one way or another, and they're safe there. Some of them aren't. Some of them aren't in our Discord or whatnot, and that's fine. But some of them are. Some of them are legitimately in there, and basically we just hang out and chill. The fact of the matter is that out of your bullshit, I got a really cool friend and a couple of acquaintances that I think are pretty neat. And no matter how much you try to fucking pretend my partner doesn't exist or try to fusion Haas into a woman named Carol, stealing other people's art, mind you, the fact of the matter is that my partner still exists. My partner still matters on this channel. You can lie about me, you can pretend they don't exist, but Zena still exists, and there is still the evidence, which is, go watch our videos, and our videos will show you that we never have made the claims that she makes. I highly recommend everybody look at that priming thread. We'll be talking about it more on stream when we do the mega thread, but the short version of it is, this video is literally priming. Lily primes her audience to ignore anyone that gainsays her, any criticism, any problems, because if they were to actually try to take a nuanced view, she might actually have to apologize for something or do something.
Yeah, but notice that all of these arguments about pretty much everything here is so bad and so awful that going against it would make anyone that did go against it, look like an abuser themselves. Makes it really hard for people to speak up about this stuff.
Yeah, it basically creates a problem where everybody is by definition as bad as Kiwi Farms. I want you to think about that for a minute. Everyone is as bad as a website that has literally gotten people killed. This is nonsense. We have made 2.5 videos of Lily. 2, really. And the idea that our videos are anywhere close to that, or for the matter, the idea that our videos on Cat Black and the Vosh drama are going to create harassment. I have never been once sent a screenshot showing anything of harassment. Neither has Zena. We go hard on that stuff. When a dumbass member of our community decided to try to push for the idea that RGR should basically lose her law abilities in Baltimore, we fucking gave them warnings and shut them down. That person has subsequently been banned from our community for continued misbehaving. The person that you supposedly have claimed we were mean to in our Discord threw around the T-slur for fun, actively described horrific scenes, and basically tried to isolate me to make me be their therapist for free. Not to mention treating my partner incredibly shitty, making them invisible, and essentially turning 10-person Discord calls into the this person and Jess hour, which is really tiring when you've already seen 7 clients that day.
Yeah, and ignoring everybody's boundary calls, yeah.
I don't know if it's just you don't check these things, you just believe whatever comes in front of your eyeballs, or if it's that you just don't care. That there is just a level of maliciousness and a level of bad faith that you assign to people, but I've never acted towards you in bad faith. There have been takes you've had that I've actively agreed with. I still think Steven Universe sucks. I still agree with you about the problems with Korra. I think your abilities to go over media are actually pretty sound. But the problem is, it is incredibly buried in this miasma of toxicity.
You gotta hunt around to find anything.
The idea that the people who have critiques against you have parasocial relationships, you've named 5 people that were friends with you. That's not how parasocial relationships work. Those people have social relationships with you. Negative ones now. But the only one that has one is me. I was your fan. I really liked you when I started coming out. When I started wanting to transition, you actually made me feel strong. No offense. Now you just make me feel sad. Because I see a trans woman who constantly lashes out and doesn't want to actually do the work to change herself. I've seen the interactions you've had on stream. I've seen the ways that you interact with various people. I've seen the takes you have on Twitter. You're bad at this. The political stuff is bad. The way you interact with people on stream is bad. The way you've treated multiple people that you've been friends with, including the numerous screenshots Britt has, is bad. I had to go through 2 hours of that and go over it. Guess what? It was awful. It was horrifying. This is why I believe that you are about power, Lily. This is why I actually think that in a lot of ways, despite your progressive, supposedly progressive values, you are always leaning, always pushing towards the desire for power and strength over others. You made your new account and didn't block us again, even though you knew for a fact the mega threat existed. You only did it when I quote tweeted you and pointed out your video came out. My belief is that you are a reactionary. That is it. You are no different than any other reactionary. You just use progressive language as rhetoric. That's all. But you don't actually live progressive values as far as your online appearances. I have no idea what your personal life is. I'm not going to sit here and try to suppose what that is. I don't know if you're going to respond to this, but a couple clues. My name is Jess, not Carol. Jessica, actually. If you're gonna, talk shit, actually have the balls to talk shit and say who I am. 2, this channel has 2 co-hosts. One of them is my partner, who I care about deeply. And if you continue to ignore them, I will continue to cover you. The problem being here is that this type of behavior online is incoherent, reactionary nonsense. You guys have to understand that. This isn't even just a thing against Lily. It's a thing against all reactionary communities on YouTube. Lily is just a really good patient zero, which is why we're going to be doing the mega segment. In that segment, the goal will be to break down Echo's 14 characteristics of fascism and break down the ways in which me and Zena see Lily essentially touting a fascistic framework under the lens of progressivism. I want to talk about fascistic behavior not as a political ideology, but more as a sort of pseudo-psychological ideology. The idea that there are ways in which cognitive distortion, misspeaking, misthinking, things like that, these lead to fascistic behavior. Black and white thinking can lead to fascistic behavior. Overgeneralization can lead to fascistic behavior. And so on and so on and so forth. And beyond safe words, I'll absolutely take you up on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely will do.
Patchy's like, I honestly want to get to know Zena. They seem rad. Zena is rad.
Mm-hmm. Also, thank you, Mordecai. I'm glad I could help.
Cool. I'll send you the doc so you can see what we got so far. But so if you're going to talk about us, that's fine. That's the way of YouTube. But you're not a lolcow. I haven't talked about you for fucking on stream hardly at all for the last year. Because my partner asked me not to, and because I didn't want to have Kiwi Farms go after you. My concern was that our actual attention was going to bring more negative attention to you, and I didn't want you harmed as a person. I'm now of the opinion that I don't think that's necessarily going to happen, and honestly, I think the damage that you do may be of a size that I think that we have to be able to start talking about acceptable risks. I don't want you harassed, and no one in my community should do it. If you actually are harassed, Lily, this goes for Michaela too, send us anything at the email, transgirltherapist@gmail.com. We will deal with them expediently. Did I or did I not want to go near this for a year?
No, you didn't want to go near this. Yeah. No, this is tiring. Goddamn, Lily, this is tiring.
Thank you for making it through this.
You're welcome.
I know this was hard, and I know you were kind of dreading it. You did a really good job. We're going to do more on this. I don't want to, but we have to. There's the problem is that there needs to be a framework, and we need somebody to actually put out that work and do that. And unfortunately, it seems like it's us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just say we notice a lot of things. Like, it's not like the effect that Lily seems to have on people. Like, No, we run into people all the time who are scared to write or scared to do something or scared to speak up or scared to just be part of things or other communities for concern that other people will, harass them on multiple platforms. Like, this is the stuff that we see coming out of Lily's community, and it's not great. It sucks to see it.
Yeah, Patch, I understand we disagree on stuff, and I do appreciate you as well. My goal is to have disagreements in a way that are generative, not destructive. I want to be able to have things be in a way. The problem with Lily's way of discussing things is that it is destructive. It is not generative. It does not add anything to the discourse. It does not make things better. It is a lot of pulling random mental health facts out of the area and out of nowhere, and basically trying to make what looks to be, if you squint at it, a coherent argument, except no arguments were actually harmed in the making of this video. So I do really appreciate actually all the people that are in chat right now. Sega Sister, Patch, Cyber, Cypher, excuse me. Lizzie, who left.
Yeah.
Britt, all of you who have been through this stuff, I really appreciate everything you guys have shared with us, everything you've brought up. If there's anyone I missed, I apologize, but I really do appreciate all of you. And those of you I'm friends with, I deeply appreciate you. And the things you've been willing to share with us in our community, and just the level of maturity you've shown. So with that said, enough hug boxing. Do we have anything else we want to go over? Or we feel done with this shit?
No, I feel done.
Again, give lots of love to my partner, please, because watching them be erased is under my skin levels of irritating. So, Lily, please get better or get off the internet. Thanks. Bye. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, consider donating to us. You can support us on our website, transgirltherapist.org. You can also help us on our Patreon, link below, or you can become a member here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching.